Hello, hello. Oh, we have a few folks in here already. Oh, am I recording? It looks like I am. I haven't live streamed in a while, so thank you all for being here. Let's see the chat. Can you hear me all okay? I can see the chat, so we can communicate that way. Yay! Thanks, Brittany. Thanks, Jen. Welcome, everyone. I don't know that I've met everyone yet, so I'd love to see in the chat where you're from, what hubs you're part of, or like if you're traveling right now, where you are, what part of the world you're in. Good morning from sunny Los Angeles. It's going to be a hot week this week. I'm going to wait another minute for people to jump in. I'm going to see how I can I share my screen? How can I do this? Huh. Hide panel. Ah, there we go. Share screen. I can't look at the chat and share my screen at the same time. I'm sad. Let's see. Present. All right. Sorry, everyone. Bear with me as I am doing this alone here. Bear with me as I get my presentation up. Just keep chatting away. Let's see. Choose. All right. I think you can all see this. What if I did present full screen? Kind of. Good enough, right? I think so. All right. Cool. Can't see the chat. Can I? Oh, I can. Yes. Yay. Wow. Okay. St. Thomas USVI in the house from Boston, Dubai, NYC, of course, where we're having this exact event that we're going to talk about today. All right. We can get started. So thank you all for coming today. This is going to be a WITS deep dive, which we've never really done something like this before, which I'm excited. Love it. Lebanon, yes, very exciting. New York City, one of the biggest and arguably greatest cities in the world. I've been fortunate enough to visit probably like 4 times in the past 6 to 8 months, which sounds wild because I hadn't been in 6 years prior to this year, but a lot of work opportunities bringing me there. So this year's, it's our 11th annual WITS Travel Creator Summit in downtown New York City, Lower Manhattan, from Friday the 16th through the Sunday the 18th of May. And I'm Leah, for those of you that I haven't met yet. I am the new WITS Event Manager. I just joined the team last spring, literally right after Utah had ended. So I'm an LA native. I'm currently living here. I'm currently live streaming from here. I'm also a content creator, a podcast host, and a travel advisor. So my day job and night job and weekend job is also in event management. So I pivoted my career into events while living in Melbourne, Australia on a working holiday visa, which I think is really cool because completely changing your career in a different country is really unheard of. So kind of like a cool fact about me. And I'd love to know who here is a first timer to WITS. So you can just drop that in the chat. I'm sure there's a few of you. And I'd also love to know who here is a first timer to New York City, because that's also quite common. You know, it's not, it's a high energy, expensive city. So for some of you, this may be your first time ever there. And there's no better reason, honestly, to go there than a conference full of strong, powerful women who want to network and connect and build for the future. So I love it. Sweet. Okay, yeah, I think this is going to be a huge drive market that we're going to have coming into this WITS. So that'll be exciting. Woohoo. Okay. So what is WITS? Most of you already know what it is, but just in case you signed up for the conference without really knowing what it is, it's the largest gathering of women travel creators in the world. There's over 500 content creators, media folks, DMOs, which stands for Destination Marketing Organization, and industry folks come together for a weekend full of networking, education, and of course, changing travel worldwide, all while supporting and elevating travel's most diverse, powerful, and underestimated voices. So these are just some photos from past WITS conferences in different areas of the US. So in this presentation and in the 45 minutes or so that I have with you all, I am going to be revealing stuff that I will not be telling anybody else outside of this presentation. So I'm really excited that you're all here because you're going to be learning things before other people are, and you're going to be kind of getting like the insider scoop on WITS, which is really exciting because I'm like, well, what better way than to give these people who have signed up to listen in what they want than telling things that aren't even printed on the schedule or aren't on the online schedule. So I also decided to give maybe like a sneak peek of like what the venue is going to look like even before it's even fully built out. So you're getting like the raw, real version of everything, which I think is kind of cool because, you know, it's a treat for being here. So thank you all again. The venue is called Halo at 28 Liberty. 28 Liberty is the address in Lower Manhattan. You'll see here the actual entrance is on William Street. But there is a sign above it that says 28 Liberty, which you'll see in the next slide. So the main entrance is actually on William Street, and I'm sure we'll have a few volunteers out there directing people into the main entrance. And the accessible entrance is on Liberty Street proper. So this may be boring to some of you, but just to give you kind of a lay of the land before you get there, I tried to simplify this as much as possible. The main entrance that you were looking at is the top right-hand arrow. So William Street between Cedar and Liberty, and you'll see you walk into the registration. It's a massive, massive hallway. I have photos of this too, which really only the production team has seen. So I love that you all are going to see this because you're going to know exactly where to go. The concourse, the hallway, this is where registration will be, where the exhibitor hall will be, and where the media marketplace will be. And it is your first place of contact when you get into Halo, which is the venue. And then when you walk into this hallway on the left side, this massive, massive main session room. So this WITS is very different from previous years. In previous years, we've always held it at a hotel without fail. This year, it is at a special event venue that we've worked with Downtown Alliance to secure. And it's going to be cool and different because the layout is different than what we're used to. It's a little bit more compact with 2 stages versus maybe 3 or 4 that we're used to having. And we're bringing everything in versus having the hotel partners supply us with. So it's been really awesome getting to work under different conditions. There's challenges and surprises, but I think it's still going to turn out great. So you'll see main session room. It's massive. There's this huge grayed out circle in the middle that looks like a halo, and I think that's where the venue got its name, but that's where all the natural light comes in. So around that, we'll have the opening closing sessions. The main portion of it will be set up in a theater style seating. So rows of chairs. This is where we'll have the main talks as well. You'll see there's the stage, the seating. You walk all the way to the other end of it. That's where you'll be able to refill your water bottles. That's where all our water fountains will be. And then I'm not even kidding, 30 stalls of bathrooms. So you will likely never have to wait for a bathroom or in a bathroom line because there are so many bathrooms. It's wild. They're just all the way in the back. I'm trying to keep up with the chat as well. Yay! So good to see the new folks coming in. And then the bonus room. The bonus room is where beginner boot camp will be. So if you have a ticket to beginner boot camp, we're excited to see you there. And Akemi, who's in the chat, will actually be hosting beginner bootcamp. She is our creator hub leader, so that's really exciting. More breakout sessions, and then also our famed Sunday brunch, which will be provided by next year's destination host. They will also be serving food there. Okay, sneak peek photos. So this is the outside of the venue. The halo that I was talking about, what you see on the left side, that is the street level. So you look down into the halo, and you're looking kind of into our venue, which is really unique. And that is where all the natural light will come from. And we're hoping mid-May, it will be beautiful spring in New York. And me standing in front of 28 Liberty, which is kind of hilarious because this literal sign, this entrance is on William Street. So when you Google 28 Liberty, it will give you 28 Liberty proper, but this is the building sign on William Street. And I took this was part of a video, screen grab from a video, to show you what the main entrance looks like. Okay, sneak peek. Like I said, raw footage. Like nothing is set up in here yet. Our venue wasn't even built the last few times, or it wasn't fully built the last few times that I visited. I visited in October and December and January. So this is when you walk into that 28 Liberty sign, this is where you're going to walk into this massive, massive hallway with this is where the exhibitor hall will be, the media marketplace, and registration. You'll see that wooden stadium seating on the right side there. That's going to be closest to your registration. I'll be honest, this is where most of the outlets will be, and you'll hear about this later in the presentation, but we are very limited on power sources in this venue. So we're asking everyone to come with devices fully charged, maybe limit use of laptop unless you need to work and whatnot. Good old-fashioned paper and pen, or use the recording device on your phone, because the stadium is the main place that will have outlets, and we're accommodating for 500 to 600 folks. But yep, this is the big hallway where everyone will congregate and network. It's underground. Yeah, they don't really call it underground. They call it like level 0, I guess, Okay, so main room on the left side, you'll see we were literally taking photos. They were still building the venue out, like installing the floor and the lights. So it's kind of a cool sneak peek seeing how we're going to transform it and make it look very New York for you. So this is the main room where the main stage sessions will be. And you can kind of see in the left side photos, like that halo of the windows that I'm talking about. You'll see where the natural light comes in. The right side, this is the bonus room where I said, where beginner boot camp will be held, where Sunday brunch will be served, where we'll have smaller sessions in there as well. And it's probably maybe a third of the size of the main room. Just a little FYI. It's all going to look slightly different when you arrive, hopefully, right? But I thought it'd be cool to kind of get you all that are here that preview. All right, the schedule. So this schedule is online, as you know. Media Marketplace will open up next Monday, the 15th. And the schedule is up on Yuli currently. So overview, we can dive a little bit deeper in the schedule, but Monday and Tuesday, May 12th, May 13th, virtual mentor meetings. You'll see that you can register for these online. Wednesday, May 14th, tours and fam trips, which are offsite. The tours, you will have just secured, first come, first serve. Fam trips, all of the acceptances and rejections are going out. Sorry, that was harsh. Acceptances. And those that, didn't make it on to a fam trip, those will all be notified this week at the latest. So those should be coming to your inbox for those curious. Virtual mentor meetings, again, Wednesday, May 14th. Thursday, May 15th, a lot is happening, but the conference doesn't start until Friday the 16th. So we still have more tours and fam trips. We have virtual mentor meetings. We have a pre-WITS workshop, which is an all-day workshop where it's a paid workshop, but it takes place all day, and it's on an excellent topic, documentary filmmaking for travel creators. And I believe there's still space open, so you can head to the schedule and register for that. And in the evening, we have an industry mixer for those that have an industry ticket. So you'll be informed of those details as the date looms closer. Yes, post a link in the chat to sign up for tours. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it actually. Or if Akemi or Nayla can post a link in the chat to sign up for tours, that would be fantastic also. I can't get to it right at the moment, but Damaris will get that for you. And then Jen asked if we're supposed to get a Yuli link yet. It won't save in the app. It didn't recognize my email. I'm not sure if they're actually activated yet, so let me check in on that for you all. If not, they will be activated by Monday for sure. Okay, now deep dive into the actual schedule. So Friday, May 16th is when the grand conference starts. So events all listed take place at the venue, which is again called Halo at 28 Liberty, unless otherwise noted. You'll see registration, the Wonderful Store, and the exhibitor hall all open at 9 a.m., close at 5 p.m. This is also something to prepare for and to take note of. We are serving light brunch handheld items as well as drip coffee. And of course, food and drink are first come, first served, and anything on the schedule is subject to change in the next few weeks before the conference goes live. Media Marketplace, where you can meet and chat and connect with brands, that is open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Like I said, signups open next Monday. Exciting. Beginner Boot Camp, which Akemi is hosting. Also, this will be in the bonus room, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you'll have Jordan Campbell, who's on the WITS executive team, Jenna Passaro, and Rebecca Triblehorn. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Those are your featured speakers. So that will be a full day, full morning before even, the masses arrive. We have quite a few things going on. The rest of the Friday, May 16th, we have our opening session starting at 2:30. So 2:30 to 5 is when we'll have speaker session, talks, main sessions. We encourage you to arrive well before 2:30 because, like I said, we will be serving light brunch items. And that is when you'll get, a good amount of time to walk around the exhibitor hall and just meet and talk with brands. Let's see. So after programming ends around 5:15, we have about an hour and a half until our opening party. And during this time, we'd love to have attendee hosted affinity meetup / happy hours / mixers around downtown New York. And I'm curious if anyone is interested here in this chat in that, securing a place or a space for people to come and network. I know I myself have hosted, as an avid conference goer, I've hosted a few podcast meetups in different conferences that I've attended. So I have experience in this. If anyone actually wants some help, we'll have signups coming soon, but it's something extra, another way for people to network and connect with one another. And this could be anything from LGBTQ plus travel to family travel to points and miles experts, any kind of affinity meetup you can think of. We're going to welcome it, which is a great way to just meet others. And then 7 to 9 p.m. is our opening party hosted by Downtown Alliance, and it is at the National Museum of the American Indian. It is stunning. It's such a cool venue, and we have the entire venue rented, so we're taking it over. And it is literally 10 or fewer minutes walk away from 28 Liberty. But you do have some time beforehand to change, relax, recharge, whatever you need to do. National Museum of the American Indian is also part of the Smithsonian, so it's free to attend. So we encourage you, if you have time, to come back on another day and kind of check out the museum when it's not in party form. Okay, next day, full day of programming, Saturday, May 17th. We have 9 a.m. to about 4:30 p.m. Again, registration, store, and exhibitor hall will all be open. Drip coffee will be available on first come, first served basis. We all need that fuel. You'll see from 9:30 to 11:45, we have breakouts and wandering workshops. Now we're doing something cool and slightly different this year, wandering workshops where they are kind of like talking and walking workshops, which you can get your steps in, which is great because it's New York City, and kind of enjoy nature, enjoy each other's company while you're moving around the city and, you know, not necessarily just sitting on the ground floor of an event venue. So check out the schedule for those details as well to see which workshops will be on the move. Just looking at the chat. Yuli's not activated yet. Thank you, Akemi. And Brittany, interested in hosting. Yes. Love it. I love that there are people in the chat who are interested in hosting, so we'll definitely get those up. And I know it sounds like a tight turnaround, but I've hosted meetups at like TravelCon and Podcast Movement, and it's all in the same timeline, like within a month before, because this is when people are really looking at the schedule. So this will be exciting. Thank you, Akemi, for dropping in extra information. That's so helpful. I'm so happy you're here. Okay, Saturday, May 17th. We have lunch break for about an hour and 15 minutes, and we've secured some partnerships where if you show your WITS badge, you will be getting a discount, like 10 to 15% at some partners. And so those will include Pie Bakery, which is, I'm not even kidding, 20 feet away from the entrance of 28 Liberty. And I went there when I was in New York in January. I went there twice during the weekend because it was so dang delicious. And they have everything: breakfast, brunch, dinner, wine, coffee, lemonade, everything you can imagine. And then Essa Bagel is one of our partners as well. They're opening up a brand new location, literally like the week before WITS. Just near our venue, they're opening up a new brick and mortar location, and it's a woman-owned bagel shop that's also incredibly delicious. So there will be more partners where you can show your badge and get like a lunch discount. We will be sending them out in a little guide virtually, and likely get one like paper guide as well when you arrive. Lots of places to eat in the area. It's true, there are. Okay, the last half of Saturday, May 17th. You'll see here we have more breakouts and wandering workshops from 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. They're in like 1 hour increments with 15-minute breaks in between. Those 15-minute breaks are important. And 5 to 6, we have another time slot where there are attendee-hosted affinity meetups, happy hours, and mixers around downtown New York. Keep in mind, and I'll explain this a little later, but while we have meetups during that time, if you can't or do not want to attend one, you don't have to. You can go back to the hotel and rest. You can disconnect. You can go on a walk. You can meet up with a friend you haven't seen in a while, or, you know, have a cup of coffee with a new group of friends that you just met. But we'd love to have these options for people who may be attending WITS alone, or this is their first WITS, you know, or they're really honing in on a particular content creator aspect of the weekend. So we just love to provide those options. And from 7 to 10 p.m., we have our famed Bessie Awards. They will be at the venue. So we are not changing venues for the Bessie Awards. Registration is included with your WITS ticket. So we invite you back to Halo at 28 Liberty to celebrate all these change and tastemakers in the travel industry, these wonderful women that are making moves and changing the travel industry for good and impacting it. So that will be our Saturday night event at Halo. And Sunday, the third and final day of the conference, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, registration, store, and exhibitor hall. This is a bit of a half day. So we have opening session starting at 9:30, and then Sunday morning talks taking place in both rooms at the venue from 10:15 to 11:45. So Sunday morning programming. And then 11:45 to 1 p.m., we have brunch hosted by our WITS 2026 destination, which I'm really excited for. Oh, I want to give you guys a hint, but I don't. It's not even a hint that would tell you anything, but I'm really excited for it. 1 to 3 p.m., 3 p.m. being our closing, we'll have Sunday afternoon talks and last chance to kind of network and connect with people. We do have a post-WITS workshop, building a profitable group tour business. This is a separate registration, a separate payment, and you'll see this that you can register on the schedule as well. This will be from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday, May 18th. All right, what to pack? I'm sure many of you are well-versed. We're all travelers here. But, you know, packing for work conferences, I feel like I've been to quite a few, even just as an attendee versus like hosting them. And they've just been a different kind of beast, to be honest. And I have energy for days, but I've found, and I don't know if this is just like with my changing lifestyle, but conferences can be draining. I'm not going to lie about that. You know, you just need to know when to refuel, recharge, and I'll jump into that later. But to help you prepare, oh yeah, I think I asked, drop in the chat actually if this is your first conference ever. I'd love to know, because I know some of you, this is your first time to WITS, some of you this is your first time to New York, but is there anyone here that's never been to a conference, like a multi-day conference? Would love to know. What to pack? We'll go over things that you should have like in your back pocket figuratively, and then things that you should literally have in your back pocket. 30-second elevator pitch. I can expand on this in the next slide, but get ready to talk about yourself and what you do, and maybe why you're at WITS. You know, what's the reason for being here in 30 seconds when you meet people. What you'd like to accomplish during the weekend. Like, think about, keep that top of mind, and, you know, go into the weekend spotlighting that goal. Refillable water bottles. So we are asking everyone to try to be as eco-friendly as possible. We'll have 2 drinking fountains, and we might have a few snack and drink surprises. But we would love for you to bring a refillable water bottle and be as eco-friendly as possible. We have drinking fountains in the back where you can refill all day. Comfortable shoes. Even though this venue may be a bit smaller than past hotel venues, you know, you're going to be getting up and down and maybe taking a wandering workshop around downtown New York City. So we want you to be as comfortable as possible, and want you to go from like day to night and be like, yeah, you know, my feet are still there. For the Bessie Awards, some people like to dress up in cocktail attire. We completely support and encourage that, because this is an award show. You know, it's a Saturday night. You are spending your Saturday night with us, watching some of the greatest people in travel be recognized for their work. So we want to show up and show out. Wonderful is known for that. So let's go ahead. Something to cover up with in case it gets chilly. I feel like this is standard, maybe office attire, or, you know, when you were at college or university and you would sit in like kind of a classroom setting all day, they like to crank the AC. So in case you get cold easily, maybe a sarong. On my podcast, pretty much every other episode, I talk about how you should have a sarong with you at all times, because it's tenfold the usage of it. Like, the way to recognize me at WITS is the girl wearing a sarong, a Hawaiian sarong over her shoulders. That might be me. Hand sanitizer or wipes, just for like a quick cleaning, you know, especially after shaking hands all day. Gum and mints, if you're consistently talking to people, you might want to have those handy. Like I mentioned, charged devices plus an extra power bank. If you really want to make friends, hot tip, maybe bring an extension cord to plug into one of the outlets, or extra cords for your power bank where you can share with people. Because that's also one of my hot tips I talk about on my podcast as well. when I travel is like, how can I meet people at these hostels? Oh, I share like my speaker and share sunscreen and like extra power outlets and whatnot. But try your best to come with devices fully charged. Just catching up with the chat. These slides will be, I don't think I'm sharing the slides. If you want them, honestly, email me. I will individually email them to you because there was no plan to share the slides, but I'm happy to. But we are recording this, and I think we're going to make it available to all the members if you want to like rewatch it, and we'll post it on our YouTube. So this is definitely being recorded and saved for later. But if you want the slides, email me. Oh, Kenny said it will be shared. Okay, good. Let's see. Notebook and or laptop to take notes with a pen, pencil, whichever writing device you prefer, quill and ink, quill with a feather and ink or whatnot. Knowledge of when you need to and want to take breaks, curiosity and willingness to learn and network. Did I not? I feel like, yeah, maybe my business cards portion got cut off, but definitely physical business cards, or if you don't want to print any out or you run out of time, I use a digital business card as well on an app called Blink, which I just dropped into the chat. How to prepare. We will have a sign-in sheet at registration with all of your names, but just in case, kind of keep in your top of mind where your Eventbrite ticket is, just in case we do need to see it. Like I said, rehearse your 30-second elevator pitch, who you are, what you do, what you stand for, maybe why you're here at WITS. Oh yeah, here we go. Physical or digital business cards. I use Blink. This is actually, I'm reminding myself to reprint my physical business cards. Copies of your media kit. You can hand these out maybe sparingly to brands. We're trying to be as eco-friendly as possible, or you can come up with a QR code on your business cards that links to your media kit as well. Or my media kit's 11 pages right now. I've had to learn how to condense it to a 2-pager, which is really hard because I really loved my 11-page visually stunning media kit. But we don't need to be printing 11 pages every single time single-sided. So if you can condense it to a 2-page media kit and have it double-sided printed, that's also pretty eco-friendly. And I mentioned this, spend some time thinking about what you want out of WITS, your goals. Review the schedule, have a rough game plan of what you want to attend, and know that the schedule, like I said, we haven't even added affinity signups yet. So know that the schedule is likely to shift slightly over the next few weeks. And timing is pretty set, but new things may be added, new speakers may be squeezed in, things may shift timing. So be sure to check in on the schedule frequently. Set aside time to decompress, breathe, go enjoy nature. Hopefully it's super sunny out in New York during this time so you can walk around and enjoy. I don't think I finished the slide. So pack extra snacks, be prepared. Yeah, be prepared. That's a given, but I think I had more to add on to this. So this is a different venue. Like I mentioned before, what we're used to hosting at, which is a hotel. This is event space that we're bringing everything in. So we may not have every single thing at your fingertips, or there may not be like a Gatorade or a juice or smoothie available inside the venue to purchase. So you'll have to be ready. I think be prepared to kind of go outside, and if you need to grab anything else, grab it outside and you can bring it in. That's fine. But if you're not a fan of drip coffee and you'd rather have a latte, you'd rather have your Frappuccino, something like that is going to have to be purchased outside and not within the venue. So you may have to walk a couple blocks. That is what I was going to write after be prepared. is that, you know, it's a little bit different this year, but we make do. We're travelers. We're great at adjusting. So yeah. How to make the most of your WITS experience. This photo was taken in Puerto Rico, which was the last WITS I attended, which was fantastic. Or the first time I was in Puerto Rico. So brings back good memories. It sounds really basic, but eat throughout the day to keep yourself going, because I believe food is fuel. I also believe food is medicine, and it will keep you healthy. It will keep you alert. It will keep you going through the whole weekend to get what you want out of it. A hot tip, my podcast co-host actually thought of this idea when we were at the Travel Good Show conference in Las Vegas last year. She wanted to take a photo with brands and new people that we met. Of course, they must consent, and follow up with them via email or Instagram or however else we connect with them, and attach that photo so now you won't forget their name or their face. And, you know, it always looks awesome when you have a photo and an email and be like, oh yeah, I did meet you. We did talk about that $5 million collab that we were going to pay you for, right? So that's a nice little tip that me and my podcast co-hosts have been using. We ask that you keep your name badge with you at all times. This will be your ticket into any like associated WITS events, especially ones that are like off campus, if you will. And just a good way to identify who you are very quickly, right? Get off campus for breaks if you can. Walk around, grab food, meet people, circle the block. There's a lot of cool stuff that's popping up in downtown New York. So we definitely would love for you to see it while you're there. Introduce yourself to the WITS team, me included. We'd love to meet all of you. We will be running around, but that's okay because we will also be at most, if not all of the events. And of course, know that it's okay to skip some events if you need to recharge or take a nap. I am like known for taking naps. Not this WITS weekend though. I will not be taking any naps this WITS weekend. But that's how I recharge. Let's see. Yeah, these are some great tips. I'd also, you know, we're going to use the chat to drop in any tips that any of you may have, because you can't speak to me, but I can read everything out loud and we can have a conversation that way. So I think that's pretty much it. Oh, wait, is this call until 45? No, till 10. Okay. I have about 20 minutes left there. I thought it was till 45 for some reason. So if you have any questions, you can email wits@sheswonderful.com. Actually, that inbox also goes to me, or you can just email Leah@sheswonderful.com. And because you are all here, I will always answer your questions individually, because I thank you for taking time out of your day to come learn about our Downtown New York WITS 2025. Really exciting. Let's see. Jen, take a photo of your badge. Absolutely. Actually, I think that's what they were telling everyone in Puerto Rico to do. So 100% take a photo of your badge in case you lose it. That's super helpful. Jen also asked if there's a space for folks to decompress or wait between media marketplace appointments. That is going to be a new thing this year. We will have a small space for people to kind of relax and indulge on the concourse, and it's going to be a members only space, so we're really excited to activate that. And then there's other parts of the building, like other stadium seating that aren't technically part of our event, that's kind of open to the public, that you will be able to chill, kind of maybe get away from the crowds, do some work, answer some emails, just kind of get out of the noise if you need to. I love it. A lot of brands appreciated the physical business card. Some even took a picture of it versus the QR code. Absolutely. Mari asked how urgent it is to book media marketplace meetings on the 15th. I'll be out of the country. I mean, you can still book them while you're out of the country. The link should work. However, I think, you know, once the appointments are filled up, they're filled up. So I would say try to book them as close to the 15th as you can. And Jasmine asked if significant others are allowed to join tours. Unfortunately, this is not allowed. So if you signed up for one ticket via the tour, that is the only person that can attend that tour, is that one name on that one ticket. So if there's anything that's unclear about that, please email me and I can clarify further. Sweet. Weather's nice. There's a small plaza across the street. Awesome. Yeah, if there are any other questions, feel free to keep dropping them in the chat. I see that Jen mentioned that there was a webinar on free things to do in New York City, which is so helpful, especially because it's not the cheapest city in our country. So that was recorded as well. Is there anyone that's driving in from, or anyone that's super, super close to New York? Taking the train. I love it. Amanda on our team is also taking the train from Boston, coming from. I'm jealous of all these trains on the East Coast. I'm super jealous. We might have one to Vegas, from LA to Vegas soon, but when I say soon, I mean like 4 years. In 4 years, they might break ground. And Aaliyah, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. Men are allowed in the summit. Yes, I have a friend who's interested in attending. Absolutely. We welcome all folks, as long as you are supportive, have a great attitude, and are excited to just network. We do welcome everyone. It's a long travel day. Train from Philly. That's exciting. Yeah, this is so cool. Okay, Kemi is dropping some links in the chat. Kemi, I thank goodness you're here, honestly. Such a help. So she's dropping some cool links in the chat of past recordings, things to do, free things to do in New York. Yes. And Olivia, I'm so happy you're here too. Olivia's new to the wonderful team. We're so excited to have you. What the most pleasant surprise to hear last week that you're joining the team. And I think Olivia is also on our social media team for WITS in New York this year, which will be really exciting because her content is fantastic. Amazing. Yeah. Don't forget to drop by the wonderful table. Yes, we will definitely have the wonderful table open. And we usually give out a couple like freebies as a thank you for being a member, a wonderful member. And I believe we'll have merch from our store as well available in New York this year. So definitely come by the wonderful table. I'm sure everyone will rotate in and out of there over the weekend. So that's probably a good place to actually meet a lot of you. Maybe I'll make it a point to head there a few times a day and say hey to whoever's there. It's also a good like meetup point as well. Like, hey, let's just meet at the wonderful table in the hallway. Oh, Jasmine's part of the social team. That's so exciting. I can't wait to meet you. And Nayla, yes, I feel like Nayla, if I don't know where Nayla is, like I just head to the wonderful table and that's where she is. Maybe that means she works too much though, I don't know. Yeah. Any other tips? Does anyone have like does anyone have a favorite spot in downtown New York or even close within a short public transportation distance from the venue maybe that they love, like someplace they love to get coffee, someplace they love to eat. Actually, I have a few. Since I've been there 3 times, I've had to stay around there. Let's see. It's called the Coffee Project. Asian owned, women owned, and the most delicious toast. And of course, like Asian inspired flavored coffees, pandan coffee, ube lattes, delicious. And it's like, I don't know, 3 blocks. Coffee Project. Giorgio's of Gramercy, yum. Ooh, I'm gonna have to make the trek up there, Jen. Where else? I ate at this also brand new, it was on Lunar New Year, and I needed noodles because anyone that celebrates Lunar New Year here knows that you're supposed to have noodles for a long life. So I couldn't make it to Chinatown because it was already like 10 p.m., but I needed noodles. So I went and found the closest Thai place to the venue because I was staying near there, and it was called IMM or Im Thai. So if you're looking for a Thai place in downtown New York, I just dropped that in the chat as well. And yes, Jen, thank you for the reminder, booking your hotel rooms. So let me head to the website because we have some hotels that just recently closed their bookings. But we have 8 to 10 hotels that were available up until last year. I mean, sorry, that started basically booking last year. Let's see what's still available. AC Hotel by Marriott downtown is still open for another week. Hotel Indigo Financial District open for another week. Mint House open for another week and a half. New York Marriott downtown open for another almost 2 weeks. I think that's our longest one. Placemaker Wall Street. This is actually a new one that was added. So for those that are still looking for hotels, Placemaker I think was added last week. Pricing starts at $296 per night, but that is on witsummit.com as well. And yeah, there's other options around the area that we don't necessarily have a room block at, but they are there. We do have a roommate sheet as well. Let me let me find the link because I would love to roommate list. Okay. Anyone that's looking for a roommate, how come it's not? I'm trying to send the sheet to you all. Downtown roommate list. Okay, just drop that in the chat in case anyone's looking. There we go. Jen posted it. Oh, Hungry Pearls and Newer Food Hall. That's amazing. Jen looking for a roommate at 4 Points. Really nice. That's also next to Courtyard where I stayed a few times. That's a good question. So can we ask if the roommate sheet is open to non-wonderful members? I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Should we please? Yeah, I mean, Kimmy, are you asking? They have a ticket to WITS, but they're just not wonderful members. If that's the case, yes, of course. but maybe she'll clarify. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, if they have a ticket, as long as they have a ticket, I think that's the minimum requirement for the roommate sheet, is as long as you have a ticket. Sweet. Anything else anyone is curious about regarding the schedule or any of the extra events going through the weekend? I think something that I didn't get to update the presentation with, but I can verbally tell you, and maybe I'll just write it into the chat, was meals you can be prepared for. Let's see. Light handheld brunch on Friday the 16th. Drip coffee as well. And then Downtown Alliance at the opening party will be providing finger foods and dessert. Opening party on Friday, 5/16, and Saturday, 5/17. I think really all meals will be on your own. And then Sunday, May 18th, a robust Sunday brunch will be served along with 2026 destination announcement. So everything outside of what I just dropped in the chat, just be prepared to try one of the amazing restaurants and cafe in downtown New York. Yes, the shuttle. A downtown connector. To be honest, Ariel, who is the director of programming, and myself tried to look for the schedule on the Downtown Alliance website and on Google Maps, and it wasn't the most accurate. So we actually Googled downtown connector and found an alternative schedule that was a bit more accurate. But it gets you all around downtown. It's super handy and convenient. When we were there in January, it was so warm and lovely, and it's small. It maybe has like 20 to 25 seats in it, but it is so clutch because, yeah, we could have walked 25 minutes across downtown, but we didn't need to when we can take the cute little shuttle that drove us over it in less than 10 minutes. So I would say if you're looking for the schedule for the downtown connector, you can try the Downtown New York website or Google Maps. But if for some reason it's not showing up or it seems inaccurate, just Google downtown connector schedule and a site should pop up that's a little more accurate. But this will be clutch for sure, in case, you know, you want to give your feet a rest. Cup noodles in the room. Heck yeah, I support that also. All right. Well, if there are no other questions or hot tips that you want to drop in the chat, I think I'll conclude the presentation and Q&A here. Again, thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I hope that you felt that you got some cool insider information and kind of like a first look at the venue. Literally before it's even fully built, you got that first look. And, you know, there were some things that I talked about here that I won't even be saying to the general public just because they're not top of mind. So I'm glad I got to spend the last hour kind of thinking of how can I make this presentation, you know, useful of your time, and like what insider tips can you get. So be sure to stay updated via our Facebook group. We have a WhatsApp chat. Is everyone part of the WhatsApp chat? If not, let me try to find that and drop that in. We have our emails. I'm sure you're all on our email list, and that's going out. Let me send a link to the WhatsApp chat, because the WhatsApp chat will also be important the week of, when we have like fast things, like say, hey, we added a new speaker at 3 p.m. on Saturday. That's the kind of information. Or like, hey, hash browns are available Friday morning. First 150 people to show up, hash browns. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have overpromised the hash browns. But examples like that, you know, last minute updates. And it looks like, I don't know if I can share it. Oh, here, share link, copy link. There we go. Okay, link to the WhatsApp chat in this chat, and stay tuned there. In the coming weeks, for those of you that are signed up on tours and fam tours, you will be getting a lot of communication from Downtown New York or Downtown Alliance, so the same thing, and the tour operators. So try not to send those emails to spam. Try to save them and not delete them, because a lot of the communication about tours and fam trips will come through them versus anyone on the wonderful team. So just want to remind you all of that. But again, thank you all for being here and spending your Tuesday morning with me. I cannot wait to meet every single one of you in downtown New York. Let's get a photo together, and reach out if you have any questions. Thank you, everyone.